My name's Jim King. I'm the interim pastor at the First Baptist Church in Laurelton, and I'm part of this ministry of Kingdom Words. And I invite you to listen in to a 5-minute devotional. I want to really share with you about another devotional I heard on YouTube. It was presented by a young college-age student. I think his name was Jerry. Jeff Cherry. Jeff Cherry. Change that around. And he was presenting it to a National Prayer Breakfast program out in a western state. Very attractive young man, and he did such a nice job talking about Jesus as a teacher. It was quite compelling what he had to say. Now I want to begin by saying that for me, Jesus is a teacher, to be sure, but Jesus is my Savior. Jesus is my friend. Jesus is very God and very man. Jesus is the Messiah. Jesus is the Redeemer. Jesus is more than a teacher, but he is a teacher. And what this young man was talking about, Jeff Cherry, is that Jesus is very impressive as a teacher in the sense that he was authentic, that he was authoritative, and that he was audacious. I thought this was a very nice presentation. I want to share with you just a few words about that. First of all, Jesus as being authentic, and he was making the point that he was authentic and genuine in the sense that whatever he talked about, he did. Jesus said you need to deny himself. Well, Jesus denied himself and went to the cross in Jerusalem. Sometimes we have a lot of difficulty denying ourselves. Jesus denied himself, and he taught about it, but he lived it also. Jesus said you need to be humble. And Jesus, when he came into the upper room, down at the time of the Passover, he got down on his knees, so to speak, with an apron around his waist and washed the feet of his disciples. Jesus had a big correlation between what he said as a teacher and what he did. He was authentic. And we need to remember that if we really want to be Christians in our hearts and Christians as a witness, to be authentic. And the second thing, Jesus was authoritative. Jesus was authoritarian, perhaps on occasion, but mainly he was just authoritative without compelling people to do something. He was authoritative by the power and the goodness that came out of his heart. He was authoritative when he was with even Pilate. When Pilate said something about, "Are you the king?" "You have said." "Yeah, I'm the king," Jesus was saying in effect. And saying that I came to reveal the truth of God, the truth of life. And Pilate wasn't that impressed. He said, "What is truth?" But Jesus was authoritative. Indeed, he was the truth. And it says in John the 14th chapter, Jesus, he said of himself, "I'm the way, the truth, and the life." Jesus was greatly authoritative. He really had something going for him. He really knew what he was doing, and people recognized it. They came to him in great crowds, and they were impressed, and they listened, and they often did as he said, and they also believed. Jesus was authentic, he was authoritative, and he was audacious. Jesus was somebody who did something that was very bold. Jesus did something which a lot of people are unwilling to do. Jesus went really out of his way and became, for some people, no doubt, a troublemaker. As Elijah was called, a troublemaker by Ahab, King Ahab, in the book of Kings in the Old Testament. Jesus was audacious. He was bold. He was brave. He was out on the frontier. I remember, now this is on a different level to be sure, but I knew a pastor once. His name was Reverend Richard Harding. He came from the East Coast in New England, and he was called to a downtown church in Dayton, Ohio. And he said to himself, "Why am I, a man who is 50, I've already got a church in New England, I'm doing okay, everything is all right. I am audacious. I'm willing to go where God has called me. I'm willing to do something out of the ordinary. I'm going to be brave and bold." And in some sense, he was just like Jesus. So I commend you, Jesus, as a teacher. To be sure, he's more than a teacher. He's Savior. He's Redeemer. He's the Messiah. He's the revelation of God. He's your friend. But he's also authentic. There was a correlation between what he said and what he did. He was also a person who had authority. And when he commands, we often want to obey and follow him because of his great authority, because of who he was and the way he lived and the way he spoke and the way he died and the way he witnessed and the way he was. Jesus was authoritative, he was authentic, and he was audacious. And while Peter, for instance, didn't want him to go to Jerusalem, Jesus said, "Get behind me. I'm going there to die and to give my life as a ransom for all the people of the world." So I commend you Jesus as a teacher. He's my teacher. I hope he's yours as well. And I hope you'll receive him as your Lord as well. And you'll follow him, and you'll believe in him, and you'll love him, and you have a relationship with him, and you will come to be more and more and more one of his disciples. That's my wish for my life, and I wish you the very best. God bless you. Have a great day. This is Jim King with the First Baptist Church in Laurelton and this ministry, Kingdom Words. God bless you real good, and bye now.